Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Love and Marriage DC, Season 3, Episode 7.
Look, man, Jamie tired of y'all in real life. Listen here, the show that we see on Saturday and this whole week that just passed, they've been arguing with each other. Jamie, Ashley, Winter went and blocked Jamie and things like that that's been going on. Carlos, I think you need to come in and do something with your people. Because something is going on with your castmates that they are imploding on each other and things of that nature. But hey, hopefully it makes its way to next season and things like that. You ready to go through this season?
I'm ready.
This episode?
Yes.
Let's go.
Well, we are with the intuitive healer.
Yeah.
Joy walks out of the room.
As she should.
Yep. Sherelle doesn't want people to form bad opinions about her husband. Black just wanted to express how he felt in front of everybody, so they knew what he was saying was real.
Okay.
The Tylers say that this turned into a mess. They thought that Terry would have been able to heal the situation, but that's not how it went down.
No.
And then Winter says that she got emotional listening to Black because he was fighting for his character and his integrity.
Stop right there. What do you mean fighting for his integrity? Truth be told, we don't care. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
When it comes to Black and whatever he chose to do within his past relationship or whatever he's choosing to do in his current relationship, we don't care. His character or his integrity is so not on the table that when Winter said that, I was like, what? Do we really even care that much? Truth be told, a lot of us just feel like, hey, we don't believe Black. And then we just move on with it.
Exactly.
And things of that nature. But the thing about it is, as I was reading some of the comments this week from this series and things like that, some of y'all believe, or at least one person that I've seen specifically, believe that Joy is lying. And then somebody in the comments responded to them, which I have the same question is, what motive do Joy have to lie on Black?
Exactly. She just don't fool with the man.
My thing is, if Joy was the one who was friends with the one that Black was dating, back in the day and things of that nature, Joy would be the one to have more information than Winter, than Sherelle. The only ones who really know what happened, number one, is Black. And I would say in that room, the only one who would also know what kind of happened based on hearsay or based on what they seen is Joy. And like Clifton, when they was at the wrestling thing, when they was all hanging together, Clifton was like, hey, man, I ain't no middleman. Yeah. You don't hear Clifton over there in person basically saying, like, my wife ain't no liar and things like that. He like, yo, this.
Like, I don't know. Like, I didn't know y'all back then.
He like, this got nothing to do with me. So I really don't understand why Winter, quote unquote, is the one that is. I think she feels like based off of season 1 of how she came on the show, on how she was bullied by Ashley and things like that, based on her character was called into question by her and Monique when it came to her and her relationship, and people were like, how does she know what she know when she didn't even know her man was living with, like, his mom. What type of person she is. So, like, Winter, don't take it upon yourself to recreationally see yourself in other people when they got nothing to do with you.
That's a good way to put it, because I didn't know why she was taking up for Black and feeling so bad about him having to stick up for his character and integrity. You don't know this man. No. You don't know if his integrity is good, bad, indifferent. At this point where you're meeting him, he's cool. And that, to me, that's all you need to worry about. Anything that happened in the past, that don't have nothing to do with you. Yeah. So Joy said is outside talking to Clifton and tells him he didn't do right when she knew him. He might have changed. But Joy is saying that, basically he doesn't know. Well, she doesn't know.
She basically said that he don't know me.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't know her.
And that basically this whole facade that he's trying to sell to us, that we always close, we always friends, and that we always like clicky and things like that, it is not what he's trying to sell. And on top of that, if he is a different man today, that's something that she can't speak on, but she's only speaking on what she experienced back in the day with her friend that he was in a relationship with. Right.
And then Joy and Clifton head out. Looked like Clifton was about to get left in the house. He was kind of dragging his feet to me. And they leave. Ashley says that Joy always runs away. And I think that's an unfair statement because you're always kicking her out of places. So how is she always running away?
Hey, Roberto, when are you gonna have this conversation with Clifton that you said that, like, you know, he got to come see about you?
And you gonna talk to him later?
When is later? like
you seen this man how many times?
So I really don't understand where everybody, quote unquote, like to say Joy like to run away, but nobody likes to talk unless Joy's not in the room, or unless there's a white lady that is moderating the whole thing. So my whole thing is, I see a lot of people who, quote unquote, got a lot to say when that person not in the room. Especially, her name is Sherelle, I think her name is, Black's wife, and things of that nature. Here's the thing about it. Sherelle, I don't know you. No, thank you. I really don't want to know you. But I wouldn't... Put it like this. I'm married. This is my wife, just in case you don't know.
Hey, y'all.
Right? If someone knew her before I did, right? And they are claiming something that she did outside of our relationship, and they knew her longer, best believe, even though she's my wife, I'm not going to be loud and proud, basically speaking of her innocence.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like Clifton. I'll be like, hey, man, this between y'all, don't put me in it. You get what I'm saying? She speaks so confidently about, quote unquote, defending her husband's character that I'm like, he's a grown man. Truth be told, if Black is the only one that keeps bringing it up, truth be told, how I like Black on the show is not determined if he cheated or not in his last relationship. I never met that girl.
Right.
She wasn't on the show.
This is the wife. And
it's another thing too, which I also feel like Joy should just drop it now. It's not like he left one wife to go to another wife. You know what I'm saying? Cheating is wrong. I understand that. But he cheated on his girlfriend and married the new girl. And I know if I'm not in that situation, Joy may feel like that's personal because, like, you know, you did this to my friend, you dogged my friend, and then you go marry the side chick. Yeah. I know how she may feel like it's personal, but Joy should never take on someone else's fight when it didn't personally happen to her.
But I think there were also other business dealings that didn't go right. And I think that's what soured her to him too. Yeah. And I think with Sherelle, like, when I say that only Joy and Black was around back then, Sherelle apparently was around back then because when they asked how they met at some event, whatever the case may be back then. Yeah. But just because Sherelle was around doesn't mean she got the full information and the full story.
No.
So she got basically whatever Black wanted her to know. It didn't appear to be that she was in the mix with all the ladies and they was hanging out and they talked. No. Seemed like she only got her information from one source. And if you trust your partner and believe them, that's cool, that's fine. But there might be somebody to where he's a villain in their story. And that's real.
And just leave it like that.
Yeah.
The same way as Joy is a villain in y'all's story, how y'all trying to paint it. Where truth be told, I would be looking at all y'all contracts like so what y'all gonna do next season? If I was Carlos King, I'd be like, Joy gonna be here, Clifton gonna be here. Y'all basically backpacked on her storyline. So why do I need y'all?
Yeah.
Sherelle, Black, Ashley, quick. I thought you was gonna have this conversation that you've been teasing. That's called a tease, by the way. When like you tease something, you have to pay off the tease. Like, oh, me and Clifton gonna talk. If they don't talk throughout this whole episode or this whole season, you didn't get the people to pay off of the tease you gave 3 episodes ago.
No.
So that's why I'm like Blair said, someone is a villain. I am a villain in someone's story. I'm positive. And me personally, before y'all start hearing stories about me, I ain't do nothing to nobody. You get what I'm saying? But guess what? I'm a villain in someone's story. And I'm fine with that. You get what I'm saying? It is what it is.
Well, it's the next morning. The Tylers are going to have breakfast with the Perrys. Yeah. And pretty much everybody's like...
The Petties.
The Petties, sorry. Everybody's joking on them, talking about, oh, y'all going out with your best friends and your besties and all this type of stuff. And it's just like, okay, y'all, relax. Well, at breakfast, Arena didn't know that the conversation was going to happen. She's telling Joy and Clifton this when it came to the intuitive healer. She said that she wanted for Terry to come for the group so that they can heal, but she didn't give her any specific details on issues that was had.
I don't know if I believe that.
For some reason, I believe it.
Why?
I don't know. I believe Arena. She doesn't come off as
Arena's the one who got a spiritual healer. So I'm already looking at Arena weird, for one, off of that alone. Okay. Not saying that I dislike Arena. I think Arena's cool and everything. But the fact that you're paying this woman your money for what?
Okay.
Like, I'm already judging your, like, decision making off of that alone.
Okay.
And then don't tell me that I really brought her in here for the group when she literally did not talk about nothing else based on what we seen.
Yeah, she asked Joy about her daddy. She told her that she's judgmental. I'm just like, okay, lady, you're not being a therapeutic at all.
No. So, like, this spiritual healer, because here's the thing about it. Here's a little secret, guys. When it comes to, like, real clarifications and things of that nature, when it comes to, like, real titles, the reason why she called herself spiritual healer and things of that nature, because if she called herself a doctor, she would go to jail.
Okay.
Dude, you get what I'm saying? Because she's not a doctor.
Or a counselor.
Or a counselor. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? So that's why she got to put a little spin on it to make it seem like, I have some type of credibility behind my name. But spiritual healer, the same way as I could say, I am a spiritual YouTuber. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Now all of y'all should subscribe to me because I'm a spiritual YouTuber.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So it's not what people, quote unquote, make it out to be. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? If you really want to counsel people, if you really want to guide people, if you really want to put people through therapy, and things of that nature, go to school and become a real valid therapist.
Right.
Come on now. I feel good. You get what I'm saying?
Well, Clifton says that he doesn't like to force conversations, and they did feel ambushed. Mm-hmm. Arena says that Joy should have told her to stop. She's like, if you were uncomfortable, then you should have said something. And Joy felt that Terry should have been able to read her energy and knew when to stop. Joy did set her boundaries during the conversation.
Yeah.
But she says that Black is lying and they've never had a friendship. He will always say what he wants to protect the image he wants people to see, but the streets will tell it.
Listen here. I think the reason why people are so split on Joy in this instance, and I'm not split, but I am interested in this, and I wish that if she sees this, come on the show, because I have some questions. Right? I find it very hard whenever you're friends with somebody, right? Mm-hmm. And they do something foul. Okay. Let's say they did something foul. I can't be like, I was never friends with this person because what they did just, quote unquote, tainted and tarnished the whole relationship, right? Mm-hmm. Even though what they did is wrong. She was in a band with this guy for years, doing shows and shows and shows and shows and shows. So to hear Joy say, me and him was never friends, it just comes off as, how could you? Or when she says, he don't know me, it comes off as, but y'all was doing shows together for years. How can he be with your friend, right, that you're close with, and he don't know you? It kind of comes off as if you're erasing the friendship and making it seem like something that you basically erasing it. Mm-hmm. And you basically want us to basically believe what you're saying about, Black don't know me and Black never knew me and we was never close. I'm like, well, dang, were y'all in the band for years?
Yeah, I get what you're saying when it comes to that, because especially if your friend is in close relationship with somebody, y'all hang out together, y'all work together. Yeah. Like, you do have some sort of relationship. So I don't know if maybe Joy would consider it a friendship.
She's like overcorrecting or something like that.
I don't know. I take it the way that Ashley is so like particular about her use of the word friends. Oh, okay. Even though somebody might be around and she knows them, she has a good time with them, but she's not comfortable saying they're her friend necessarily. So that's the sense I'm getting from Joy. Yeah. Is that maybe they hung around, but she wouldn't have considered him a friend. But in my eyes, if I'm around you all the time, we're hanging out, we're laughing, you may be a friend, but maybe not a close friend. Mm-hmm. Or maybe she always considered him a co-worker or an acquaintance, which is her prerogative of how she wants to classify people. Yeah, so
I think it's just the extremes that Joy go to when she said like he don't know me, I don't know him, and things like that. It's like, okay, well, y'all in a band or not? All right. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So like, that's the only criticism that I can have when Joy say this, because it's like, I'm gonna believe the one that be like, hey, we was in a band together.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time
together. And I know y'all have, because I'm in a band. So, like, I know what it's like to be with a band person, with a bandmate, and things of that nature. So I'm like, Joy, I feel like you're doing some overcorrecting there. That doesn't mean that she's lying. I think she's taking on the hurt that her friend went through and things like that, and basically hitting him with the, like, he ain't no friend, because no friend will ever do this. And basically a side of him that we see with him and Sherelle, I don't know that guy. Yeah. And things like that. But I understand.
And Joy says that no one wants to talk to her, but everyone wants to pipe up when Terry gets there.
Facts.
And I would totally agree with that. Why is everybody silent, giving the cold shoulder, don't want to barely look at her, but when the intuitive healer gets there, everybody want to let everything out? No, I've been around. If y'all really have something to say, y'all can say it. Well, Joy doesn't want to have to constantly defend herself. She wants us to stop. She actually starts tearing up. And Irena asks if Joy is willing to resolve the issues. And Joy says she's already been burnt twice, but ultimately they all want the group to move forward.
Listen here, this is why sometimes you gotta let your fist talk. You get what I'm saying? Because truth be told, they just go to talk behind your back. So when you come in the room, just start waylaying. Just start swinging.
Like, I know y'all been talking.
Don't even say anything, because truth be told, a lot of people use their mouths because their hands is basically inept. It has no use when it comes to a fight or a confrontation. Sherelle talking to this woman as if like she is like personally offended by Joy and things of that nature, and she only talked this loud when Joy's not in the room or things of that nature, or when Terry's right there. So I'm like, you think you're big and bad and all that stuff, but you're not. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Ashley, you think you're big and bad, but you're not. You get what I'm saying? And that's why if I was Joy, I just let my hands talk. Yeah. And listen here, Quick said he was going to talk, and DJ Quick still have not talked to this man.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
Well, I mean, I know what it is. It's his wife. But the thing is, I thought he was going to have a conversation with him. Is actually not allowing that? I don't know.
Listen here, it's not. My thing is, on a show, when you give a tease, you have to pay the tease. Okay. Right? And he said he was going to talk to Clifton. Right? All this time, Clifton's on the couch. All this time, Clifton put his hand out. And he said, we go rap later. But he tell us, you think you go talk to me? He tell his wife, you think you go talk to me the way you handle my wife and things like that? Oh, no, I don't get down like that. You may think I'm one way. You may see me as one way, but I'm from Baltimore. You get what I'm saying? I have this and I have that and I have this rep and things of that nature. Well, guess what? The man was in your presence. Yeah. Let your hands talk then, brother. You get what I'm saying? If you feel like you want to play Superman and defend your wife based on what she says, which, hey, listen here. Every man has a right to do whatever they feel like they have to do in their marriage. I ain't gonna judge you. I'm only judging you based on what you said. You say go talk to the man. You haven't. Right. But you're talking about him when he's not there, though. Yeah. That's when it's like, okay, DJ Quick, I don't know how those Baltimore guys went down I don't know how they operated back in the day. Yeah. But I'm like, I don't understand that. Right. If you ain't gonna talk about him when he's like in your presence, don't be part of the gossip when he's not there either.
I agree.
That's all I'm saying.
Well, back at the house, they gossiping.
Of course.
Winter says the energy of the room shifted when the intuitive healer focused on Joy. Okay. Yusha said that Joy was thrown into a conversation before she was ready. Basically, Yusha's the only one that's trying to say that Joy had a reason for the way she was acting. Yeah. This lady tried to ambush her. Joy really wasn't saying nothing crazy. She just wasn't trying to have this conversation and get all up in her business like this. Sherelle says that Joy put herself in that position. Okay. How? I don't know.
We don't know either.
Winter felt bad for Clifton. Winter has never heard Black's side, and Joy didn't allow him to speak. I thought Black said plenty.
I'm about to say, Winter, watch last season and things of that nature. And if you want to hear his side, just ask him.
He's right there.
He's literally right there. Go ahead.
Well, Yusha steady defending Joy, and Winter does not like that.
No, she don't.
Yusha wants them to be able to give forgiveness when they see her again. And Quick says that Winter isn't receiving that. He's basically giving the advice that if your lady isn't feeling it, then you need to be on her team and be team her. And Winter said that the night ended well, and today they have people coming over to pamper them, to do mani-pedis, facials, and things like that. Winter says that she loves Black. That's her brother. How?
She don't even know the story.
And she feels that Yusha is throwing Black under the bus. He's known Black longer, so she's confused as to where his loyalty lies if that's been your friend for so many years. I just wanted to say, well, if Yusha has known him for years and he's over here defending the other person, then that would have my eyebrows raised at Black. Maybe Yusha knows something I don't. That would be my thing. I wouldn't be looking at Yusha like, where does your loyalty lie? I'd be like, Yusha knows Black very well. And there must be a reason he's staying neutral.
Listen here. He even was giving out verses and things of that nature where basically he was like, he without sin throw the first stone, cast the first stone and things like that. Basically saying, look, it's impossible for this situation to be so, for everybody to be so invested in this situation. It's impossible for one person to be doing all the wrong. Listen here, I'm not saying Joy is 100% innocent in this situation. I'm not even saying that a little bit. But I'm just saying everyone's speaking as if Joy is the one that is 100% responsible for what happened in the last scene and things of that nature. Let me go through a couple things that happened this season. DJ quit. This whole idea, because here's the thing about it. Remember when I was talking about clarifications and things like that, Blair?
Yes.
Right? Before DJ spoke, he said, I've been with my wife for this long, for 20-something years or whatever years. I forgot the number. And then he said, you see your girl right there? He put himself in a position by saying how long he been married.
Right.
He's basically saying my word is truth and my word is above your word. And basically he's saying, you see how you just right there, you speaking up for yourself, you thinking for yourself, you forming your own opinions. Don't do that. Because you in a relationship with your girl and your girl ain't receiving it, and now y'all go in the room and y'all go have an argument and things like that. First of all, DJ Quick, I'm not you.
Exactly. I don't gotta do what you do.
I don't gotta do what you do.
My girl is not your girl.
Exactly. And things. And if my girl is your girl, and if I don't want a relationship like that, I'll leave. Like you have to understand something. That everybody may want to, quote unquote, get to the goal of marriage, but they don't want your marriage. Right. I don't want my wife acting like Ashley based on the characteristics off the show. Yeah. Remember, I don't know these people, so I'm only speaking of the characteristics that we see on the show. If my wife is acting like the characteristic that Ashley display, me and her will have a big problem. You get what I'm saying? And it's not on some I need to check her. I just need to understand and drill through her head. Hey, you're not in high school no more. You have a job. Right. You have health insurance. You get what I'm saying? Like this little thing you're doing is high schoolish. You should volunteer there, but you're not there anymore. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So this whole thing of happy wife, that's how the whole happy wife, happy life thing comes about. And truth be told, based on what we've seen in season 1 and things of that nature, it doesn't seem like all the agreement that you've been doing, DJ Quick, didn't save you from all the problems that y'all had in y'all marriage anyway. Exactly. Based on what y'all displayed in season 1. You get what I'm saying? Going back to Winter, you don't know Black. Stop it. It's weird. It's very strange. Just because y'all went down that big hill together and things like that, y'all made a form the bond and things of that nature. And
they introduced you to Yusha. I mean, you don't know these people like that. I mean, so I would advise you to stay neutral.
Look, you got to do what Clifton doing. Yeah. Don't say anything. You get what I'm saying? And Yusha, I like what he's saying in the sense of, hey, guys, I'm just going to speak on what's right. She was kind of jumped last night. They came in and she was targeted and things like that. And guess what? Ashley could sit there and roll her eyes. Winter could be there and be like, oh my goodness, no, it's this, it's that, it's this and that. And Yusha's just like, no, that's wrong. And truth be told, I like what Yusha's doing because Winter, don't think this little butt kissing you're doing is going to save you. Remember, the same way as you was on the chopping block in season 1 where they was basically pulling you and basically making you the quote-unquote spotlight girl of everybody's attention and everybody had everything to say and people didn't know if they wanted to be friends with you, you will want someone to quote-unquote stand on the side of right. Yeah. Because the same way as Winter, you went through your little thing, you could go through it again.
And also, I just want to speak to the fact that Ashley is a self-proclaimed mean girl, okay? Okay. And with mean girls, a lot of the time, they need a posse. because they need people to snicker and whisper to laugh at their jokes, to make you feel isolated. So I just want Winter not to be a part of Ashley's posse.
Well, it's kind of to your point of they feel cool because the mean girl, quote unquote, even though she has a posse, they get to feel like, oh, look who I'm friends with. Look who I'm agreeing with. Like they get the
stamp of approval. Exactly. But it's like, Winter, I don't believe Ashley really likes you like that.
No, she don't.
Need numbers on her side.
Listen here. She known Arena and Jamie for years. Mm-hmm. And she just gave Arena the letter D.
Yeah.
So, like, what make you think, like, at the end of the day, you're just her little minions doing her little thing. And y'all think we're siding with Ashley. Even though I am a big fan of Ashley on the show, I'm not a fan of her this season because I'm like, I don't know what you're doing. But hey, guess what? I'm going to trust the process.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? But I'm a big fan of Ashley on the show. But I feel like they need to get in her good graces. And they basically just getting along to get along. And what they doing, even though I said this last week, I see it a mile away. There's a show in that same district called The Real Housewives of Potomac. And y'all going to make her the Giselle of this show. And y'all going to sink the franchise of DC.
Yeah. Because
y'all want to make a bond. Mm-hmm. Because Ashley's the one that got the power. Ashley's the one that got the influence and things like that. And Ashley's the one that's not, quote unquote, handling her own conflict. Mm-hmm. As we're going to see throughout this episode.
Right. Well, Arena, Jamie, Clifton, and Joy, they basically convince them to come back to the house. But Arena tells them that she's going to go in and talk to Ashley first to make sure things are cool so they can have a conversation. Yeah. So that way Joy and Clifton don't just come in. And, it's a spa day going on. They don't want to mess up the vibes of the house.
Yeah, Clifton already left.
He wasn't in the car? No. I didn't notice that.
He was gone because he has something to do with work.
Oh, okay.
So he said at the restaurant that he wasn't going to be able to make it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Arena goes in to talk to Ashley and then says that I just explained all that. Mm-hmm. Arena asks if Ashley would be willing to have a conversation with Joy away from everybody, which I think is important because I do think sometimes people get hype in front of other people, especially if you got a posse. So Ashley rolls her eyes, but she doesn't say no. And Arena's like, I'll take the eye roll. Ashley says that she really did like Joy, but she doesn't like Clifton. And like Joy said, I don't know how we're going to be friends if I don't like your husband. Mm-hmm. Ashley says that she needs to talk to her husband and get a drink before she can make a decision.
Yeah.
Joy is waiting in a car. We've got a timer going, and time is the tick talking while she's waiting. So Black asked for Jamie's perspective on what went down the previous night. And Jamie was like, I don't have anything to do with whatever y'all got going on.
Yeah.
Jamie doesn't like being in the middle because he loves all the couples and he is team peace.
Yeah.
Jamie says he's retired and he really doesn't want to be around foolishness. Mm-hmm. Jamie tells Quick that he talked to Clifton, and because the Silvas don't know him, the fact that Clifton even responded wasn't cool. But Quick says that But the thing is that Ashley felt disrespected, and no matter what y'all say happened, if she felt that way, if she took it that way, then that's the side that Quick is going to be on.
That's a strange take. Because here's the thing about it.
And one more thing. And he says he doesn't have a desire to talk to Clifton.
But you told us you were going to talk to him. So we don't get the tease? We don't get the scene of Clifton and Quick sitting across from each other and things like that? Here's the problem that I have with Arena in this scene, right? She promised something to Joy in the restaurant at breakfast that she did not, quote unquote, solidify herself first. Mm-hmm. She said, I'm sure Ashley will want to talk with you. And now you got me sitting in this car for 30 minutes, which I don't understand why Joy is sitting in the car. But you got me sitting in the car and you basically trying to reverse engineer. Now you're asking after you promised something. And now you don't even know if you can, quote unquote, relay what you promise. Mm-hmm. What you can deliver what you promise. So I really don't understand that. We are going to eventually get to the scene where Jamie is talking to his cop friend, right? Mm-hmm. Here's what I don't understand from DJ Quick perspective, from his POV. Jamie was a cop for 20 plus years. He understands threats. He understands non-threats. He understands danger. He understands non-danger and things of that nature. So why don't Quick take his word?
His expertise. Mm-hmm.
It don't even got to be expertise, just his word. Yeah. Right? Of it wasn't like what it was. Because Quick whole point was, we friends. I our families are friends with each other and things like that. Why didn't you step in to defend my wife when I wasn't there? That's what DJ Quick said an episode ago.
Yeah.
Or I think it was 2 episodes ago.
And I think that's BS because Quickie was there. You wanted to get Ghost.
But my thing is Quick. But
you saw Ashley getting worked up and you was like, I don't want to deal with this.
But Quick wasn't there though. Just so we can.
No, he wasn't there. But I'm saying he could have been.
He was on the floor. He was on the floor.
Right.
So I'm like, if things going on in the suite and I decide to go on the floor because the game is over, I don't know what's going on the suite.
I'm just saying he chose to go on the floor. Purposely.
Listen, Bradley Beal is playing, or like the Wizards are playing. I want to go with the basketball. Listen, if I'm famous and I know these basketball players, I'm trying to hang out with the basketball players.
But
too.
if you see your wife is getting worked up,
but hold on, he didn't know his wife was getting worked up.
He literally walked past.
Clifton. With Clifton.
Oh, okay.
With Clifton. That's what I'm trying to express here.
Okay.
Right? Because in his eyes, he's like, it's the women's business. Let them do what they're doing. None of us even thought that she was going to come in and beeline to Clifton and get in an argument with him, right? My whole point is DJ Quick said that, hey, why didn't you defend my wife? I'm thinking if this man who's been a police officer who knows danger or supposed to recognize danger for 20 plus years and he didn't do anything, why don't DJ Quick think, hey, maybe the situation didn't call for me to defend Ashley because there was nothing to be defended about.
Right.
Like she wasn't in danger. She wasn't like, it wasn't like what is being painted. Mm-hmm. So this whole thing that DJ Quick is choosing ignorance. It's choosing to not have all the details and things of that nature. You can defend your wife or you can be on the side of your wife. But this whole idea of like now because the cool girl have a problem with this group, I got a problem with the group. That's not cool. Mm-hmm. And that's not even masculine in some people's eyes because it doesn't make you think. It don't look like you're thinking for yourself. I'm not even asking you to tell Ashley what to think. I'm just saying, hey, this whole beef makes no sense. Even Jamie said, hey, look, if the wives get together, right, and they become friends or they fix it, a lot of things is going to fix itself.
Yeah.
But I'm like, why are you letting your wife lead the charge on if you personally got a problem with another man? Because that man doesn't have to respect the problem that you have with him.
Right.
That man can come and address you on some like, you got a problem with me? And then he may be the one to swing off first. I don't know. Mm-hmm. So my thing is like, I think DJ Quick should be a little proactive besides reactive in these type of situations.
Yeah. Well, Ashley goes to talk to Quick. Irena sits down to get her nails done.
Yeah.
She says that she didn't want to go outside and talk to Joy and kind of go back and forth if things weren't cool and bring her in, without things being ready. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I didn't like that. I felt like Irena should have went out to at least sit with Joy while Ashley was talking to Quick and just been like, text me your answer or whenever you're ready or whatever the case may be. I thought it looked kind of crazy, the fact that she sat down and got her nails done.
I'm about to say whole time
while Joy is outside by herself. Well, Ashley wants things to end on a good note. She feels like they need to talk to Joy, talking to Quick, but she's not ready right now. Okay. She doesn't want to have to feel like she has to prove herself to someone. And Quick says, whatever you decide, I support.
Yeah.
Ashley talks to Irena, says that she wants to finish off the weekend with it being great, and tells her to tell Joy to have a safe trip home.
Yeah.
Irena tells Joy Ashley isn't ready, and Joy says, 3 strikes.
Listen,
I'm done.
They both saying the same thing. Mm-hmm. Ashley don't want to speak to Joy at that moment because she don't want to feel like she's being controlled by Joy. Mm-hmm. Basically, I ain't gonna speak on your time. You gonna speak on my time.
Yeah.
And Joy is like, that's 3 strikes. I'm not speaking at all no more. So it's like, listen here. Y'all just need to learn how to continue the show through y'all disagreement.
Yeah.
Like, if I don't like you or if we're not getting along, why am I leaving?
But my thing is like, what do you mean, why am I leaving? Joy leaving?
Yeah.
I think because they were leaving the next day. So I didn't mind her leaving at that point.
I'm just like, hey, listen here, you're still part of the show. Mm-hmm. Don't let the show suffer with the whole, like, now we're not talking and now we just going to isolate these two. And now we just going to get a whole season of when they are together as a group minus Joy, they're going to talk about Joy. and things of that nature. And Joy basically go talk about this whole situation that I feel like we all should just let it go and start over with a new storyline now.
Yeah, well, my thing is with Ashley, I think she wants to be mad. I think she wants to have something to gossip about and somebody to talk about. Because that's what mean girls do. Mm-hmm. So I think that she just doesn't want to be on good terms. Because if you're really somebody who prioritizes peace, you really don't want to have issues with nobody.
Yeah.
And even if I understand to where, like, if you're just kind of like still emotional about a situation or still feel away and you're not ready to talk about it. Mm-hmm. But by this point, I mean, y'all should be able to sit down and have a conversation and be like, look, you know, whatever happened is in the past. Like, we can be around each other. We can, even if it's not rebuilding the relationship, if you feel like you've been scarred that bad. But I don't know why Ashley is upset as she is with Joy. Like, it's really dumb to me.
And it's not even that. They came to a agreement outside the sweet house. They came to an agreement of basically, look, we're not going to be friends.
Yeah.
But then Ashley went into the sweet house and started getting into it with Joy's husband.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
So now it's not even like a Joy and Ashley thing anymore. It's like a Ashley and Clifton thing. Mm-hmm. And Joy is like, now that just reignited the beef. It's just like it's tired now.
It really is.
Yeah.
Well, Arena and Jamie are packing.
Yeah.
Arena tried and even broke down crying, trying to get Ashley to fix the situation with Joy.
Yeah.
Jamie says that, like you said, it's going to start with the women. Once they move forward, everyone else can move forward. But Jamie's not going to stress himself out about it.
Yeah.
Ashley and Quick are packing. She felt that they ended the trip on a good note. Black was happy to voice his opinions, but more so in front of everyone so they could see him justifying himself. And I think that speaks to Joy's point of basically Black just wants people to see him in a good light. Because his whole intention wasn't even to fix things with Joy. He just wanted everybody else to see what he was saying. Fine.
And I think you're right. And when you say everybody, I think he's talking about us.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of weird for him to start talking about his part in whatever happened when Joy's not in the room.
Right.
So he happy that he got his scene, so he can quote unquote put his name out there. And like I said, Black, I think you're over judging or you're misjudging us as the audience if we like you or not.
Or even the gravity of what Joy said. Yeah. Like, she wasn't out here like smearing your name. Like, she just doesn't mess with you because of something that happened between y'all.
Yeah, and I think like we don't care.
Yeah,
like us liking you is not determined on that at all. So because it's not like we seen it played out. Yeah, this happened off camera. This is really none of our business, to be honest. So this whole thing of he said, "I'm happy that it got out. I should have my scene." I'm reading between the lines that now everybody can basically like see my character, and I'm like, no, we
still don't know your character.
Yeah, and we still really don't care. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Well, Yusha had a great time, and Winter is upset with him siding against her in the Joy issue. She doesn't tell him that, but that's what she's telling the confessional. But she's going to try to not make it a big issue. Once they're leaving, Winter thanks everyone for coming, and then they head out. Winter, do not make other people's beef your own beef. Like, it is, and especially making it so that it's not so much to even the point to where you have an issue with Joy now, but you have an issue with your boyfriend because of how he feels about the situation. That's independent of y'all. That's wild to me.
Hey,
that's really wild to me.
Yusha. Is his name Yusha?
Yeah.
Run. Get out that relationship. Because if we go be carrying and bearing everybody's cross and our cross, oh nah, that's too much weight to bear.
Yeah.
Like we got our own issues. We don't need to be adopting no one else's issues, and you not liking me because I have an opinion on someone else's issue. Like, I thought I'm free to speak on somebody else's issue and not it affect my personal relationship. It's weird.
Well, we're back to DC.
Yeah.
Jamie meets up with his friend who is also a former cop, and it's a lot of stress. It's a tough city to work in. He still gets angry easily. He says you really have to have a temper to be in that world. 1 minute you're doing a traffic stop, next minute somebody's cussing you out. He was in harm's way every day for 20 years, and he told his wife and his parents that he would come home every night, which thank God he was able to do.
Okay.
He saw people Jamie's age, his son, every day, and thinks that is what affected his relationship with his child, and maybe he was too hard on him and treated him like a guy in the street. Jamie tears up talking about how he taught his kids right from wrong and how much they really sacrifice for their children, and his friend tells him that you should go to therapy and make sure that you're good. And Jamie tells him that he is doing some post-retirement counseling, and he also invited some other retirees to come and be involved in the process. So I thought that was a really interesting scene, and I appreciated Jamie being vulnerable and just kind of explaining his history and kind of how that impacted his family and son relationship. And you can see it. Like, he has appears to be short-tempered when it comes to his son. Like, it does not appear that he is very patient. But I think that's because he's scared for him. You know, like he said, I think at one point, like, he could either, you know, die or go to jail being in this type of lifestyle. And he's seen it firsthand. So,
and plus, I think it's embarrassing if we're going to speak from a adult perspective to be in law enforcement and to have a son who's a criminal. Like, it's like, bro, like I should control the streets or man the streets, but I can't man my home. Like, there is something to a parent feeling like, I don't want to say hypocrite, but it's like, how come, like, I can speak to all these other kids on the street, tell them what to do and things like that, but my own namesake at that, like, I don't have a handle on that, and it makes me angry at myself because I'm not around as much, but I'm provided for the house. It makes me angry at him because he even said it in his confessional. He said Jamie grew up with both parents. He grew up knowing right and wrong. We taught him right and wrong and things like that. Here's the thing that I believe Mr. Carlos King wanted for DC. And truth be told, I think the future of DC is bright. Love and Marriage DC, if we get more scenes like this.
Yeah.
Right? Because what it does is it gives Jamie character more depth. Because now, if we was to see, let's like reverse engineer this. Nothing wrong with the franchise DC, in my opinion. Besides, like, this season is kind of like, okay, let's get off the treadmill, the quicksand and things like that. But remember, before we knew he was a cop, but at first Jamie was given to us as like this party promoter and things like that, who quote unquote had a bad son, quote unquote, right? And he gets angry at his son. Even though we got some things in Jamie's character, it lacked depth of like why he's getting angry. Now we have the depth that we have to fall in love with a character like Jamie, and I think that's what each person is lacking on this show. Yeah, depth. You get what I'm saying? That's why Jamie can tweet throughout the episode, and people like his tweets. Ashley tweets as well too. That's why I really don't have a problem with her. I just have a problem with the role she playing this season. I'm like, Ashley, what are you doing? But my whole thing is, I think a lot of these characters lack depth. We are getting thrown black in our face and his problem that happened before the camera without them even being seen. Joy and Clifton came on the show, and we supposed to know them based off of another show. You get what I'm saying? So we don't really know them based off of this show, so they have no depth. Quick and Ashley, they show us a lot of empty nothings. Okay. Like, it's a lot of scenes with her in the house. She's doing she wrote a book. She's doing a lot of things, getting her business together. And even Ashley showed us a little depth of her and her mother's relationship, but we don't get a lot of that. You get what I'm saying? Besides, we get Ashley playing the mean girl role. Yeah. And I'm like, what happens is it can make us do without you quick, because there's nothing that we can really hold on to. There's no anchor to make us be like, oh,
we don't see a redeemable quality.
I like this character. Yeah. And truth be told, I wasn't a big fan of Jamie in season 1 and things like that. I'm like, this guy gets a little hot. but my thing is, now that you add some depth to his character, I can be like, oh, okay, now his anger makes sense.
And he's like looking like a whole person with a history and reasons and everything for why he does what he does.
And my thing is, Winter, how do you look like a whole person on the show? Black, Sherelle, Joy, Clifton, DJ, Silva, Ashley. Y'all don't look like that's why I say I don't like Ashley role on this season, because it looks like she's playing a role. And there's nothing that quote unquote give me, to your point, redeemable, likable qualities of Ashley that make me go, oh, okay. It just make me go, I can do without Ashley because she's the one antagonizing most of this stuff.
Yeah.
But I like this scene a lot. And truth be told, I know a lot of people feel like this series is in trouble. Ashley, it has been rumored that Ashley has not been liking how she's been portrayed on the show. Interesting. And things of that nature. And she says she's leaving the show.
Okay.
Right. So and that's my point.
Yeah.
Like people be like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe we actually learn something about something. Mm-hmm. But Ashley say that every season, at the end of every season, that she's gonna leave. Then we see her first person we see.
And the thing is, I like Ashley on the show. I think she's a good.
She's good for
the show.
Yeah.
And I think she has a really strong personality. She's funny. She is likable at times, mm-hmm. but this whole mean girl thing and not being able to move past stuff is really, like, to me, tanks the show. It really, like, makes it, like, unwatchable at times. So
I just think it's this.
Yeah.
It's this. It's like we didn't have no problem with Ashley going at Winter.
No, because Winter wasn't making no sense.
No.
And we needed somebody to call it out.
No.
So.
Because we always yelling at our TVs.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying? But this, it just seems forced.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem real. But maybe it is real. Who knows? Anything else?
That's all I got.
Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe to the show. We got a lot of things coming out this week. Y'all be good.
Bye.